Hi everyone, and welcome back. Tonight's video is of Kurtis and Kaitie changing the oil in his Fat Boy. This is a yearly maintenance that we try to do, or sometimes with how much we ride, we wind up having to do this a couple of times a year.
Start with the transmission. Oh, that is pretty.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's supposed to look like. It's what it looked like when I put it in.
This is known as a 3-hole oil change, which includes changing the oil filter, the oil in the transmission, and the oil in the primary drive. They changed the oil in my bike the night before, so you might hear them reference that a couple of times.
Ow.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine. Just a little burn.
You might notice throughout this video that Kaitie is filming, and so it's a little rough and bumpy in places, but I think she overall did a really good job.
Yeah. Purple and black.
That green still looks good. What I'm doing is I'm cleaning the plugs off, checking for metal shavings. I'm also looking at the O-rings on them.
Making sure they're not.
Making sure there's no damage to them. Because the ones last night had a little bit of damage. So I had to replace them.
Yeah.
But if I don't see any damage,
Yeah, you won't worry about
I'm not going to
replacing it.
replace them. But what I'm trying to do here, good, is I am opening up all 3 holes just to let it drain.
Yeah.
I'm going to go around to the other side and we'll do the primary. Okay. That oil looks good. A few more metal shavings than I'd like to see, but that's not a big deal in the primary. Now, pull this O-ring off. This O-ring looks good as well. Get this plug cleaned up, make sure there's no metal shavings on it. But since I have jumped my primary a couple of times, that really doesn't surprise me. Set it up there for now. Now, where did I put that last night? Apparently not right there. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm pulling the primary cover off, now that it's drained partially.
Okay.
Start at the bottom, because that way I leave the top one for last. That way it's the easiest to support it. No chance of it rotating, rolling,
Yeah.
any of that. Now, according to Harley, I'm supposed to replace those O-rings every time.
Okay.
But if they still look good, there's no point in replacing them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just like this gasket's supposed to get replaced every time.
Yeah.
But as I reach in here and pull it out, I don't see anything wrong with it. So I'm going to take it out, inspect it. Get rid of the dirty paper towel. Inspect it, wipe it off, make sure it looks good. There's no nicks, no tears, no fraying, anything like that. We'll set it down, clean this cover. And then I'm going to reinstall it in the cover, and when I go to refill my primary here in a minute, it'll just go right back on.
Okay.
Come on. Although it may have stretched, and I may have to replace it.
Looks like it did, since it's a little bit larger than the...
Well, and that's a good reason to replace it.
Yeah.
Yep, that one's going to have to be replaced. No big deal. I've got another. Yeah, here's an O-ring from last night. See how it's got this fray around the edge of it?
Yeah.
That's why I had to replace it.
Okay.
Is because that O-ring's no good. That O-ring's trash. Okay. Looks like everything's slowed down on how quick it's dripping. Go ahead and wipe this surface down just to get it cleaned up. Make sure it's clean. Not bad. And I'm gonna step over to the other side that I personally like to do. That's my funnel. Just pick up the bike. Pull my oil plug. Set it right here on that towel. See how that just got it to drain more oil?
Yeah.
Basically, I do that, and that way I can hold it, make sure it's as empty as it can be.
Yeah.
Still draining?
A little bit.
And it doesn't have to all be out of there. It just the more you can get out, the better off you are.
We're almost done. Dripping.
Just a
on
little.
one.
Is it just
Yeah.
dripping now?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to set the bike back down.
Well,
Hmm?
more oil coming out.
Oh, it's just running past the hole. No big deal. Take a clean towel. Okay, I know this one goes on the... Oh, it's running pretty good. So we're going to start with this one that goes in the transmission. Try to turn my drip tray to where I can get at it without any dripping on the floor, preferably.
Yeah. Because then that's going to be slippery for you and Mama to get out.
Well, that's why the oil I spilled earlier,
Yeah.
I used carburetor to clean it up off the concrete.
Yeah.
Because the carburetor cleaner will cut the oil and help keep it from being slick.
Okay.
I always start them by hand. Take my ratchet. Get it put on. Get it snugged up. So we're to the side. And then I'll wipe as much of the oil and stuff off of everything underneath here as I can.
Okay.
Get everything as clean as I can. Because that way oil attracts dirt, and that way it doesn't attract any more dirt than absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that one stopped running, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off. Take its plug.
So we can
Get it hand tight. Move the pan out of my way. Snug it up with the ratchet. Now we'll go put the plug back in the primary, and then we'll change the filter on this one. Okay, we can see down here the primary is not dripping, so I'm going to go ahead and move the oil pan out of my way, but to where I'm going to need it here in a minute. Take my plug, hit that with a paper towel first. And start it by hand. Get it as far in as I can. Take my ratchet. Get it good and snug. All the plugs are back in. Now before I put any fluid back in it, I'm going to do the oil filter. Which I use K&N oil filters when I do them, because that way I can just use a socket, don't have to have any specialty tools. And it's just going to go on. Get it started, and it's going to make a mess because there's no other way to do it.
we'll have the drip pans there.
And I'm missing the drip pan on part of it, so that's fun.
Yep.
But that's... I'm going to go ahead and collect the filter off. Grab the O-ring for my cover here. So I'm going to go ahead and just press it into place. Clean up where my oil filter came off. You want to make sure you didn't leave no gaskets or anything were left in there. Get it as clean as you can. Clean all the way. Anywhere where the oil ran down, which is a bit of a pain, but...
Gotta be done.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but do your best. Well, and carburetor cleaner helps a lot with that because it'll make it
Run down into the...
Yeah, it works as what they call a contact cleaner. And so basically it will make it run.
So that way it's a little bit easier to clean up.
Yep, grab my new oil filter. Got my oil that's going to go in. But first, I'm going to take my oil filter. I'm going to take a bottle of oil. Open it up. Dip my finger in it. Wipe it all over that gasket there. Make sure it's good and shiny and lubricated, because that keeps it from sticking and makes it seal better. Put the lid back on that. Now some people say put oil in your filter before you put it back on. I don't like doing that on these. I do it on some things, not on this. We're going to wipe that up. Now, when you put an oil filter on, you're not trying to torque it down. You want to get it, see how that seal made contact?
Yeah.
Okay, see how this hole's at the top?
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically going to give or take half a turn. Which we're almost to half a turn. I shouldn't use a wrench, but I'm going to. We're going to give it right at half turn. That's sealed. That's good. That will. So now, we're ready to start putting primary fluid, oil, and transmission fluid back in. Since we're already on this side, I'm going to start on primary fluid. Okay, I'm going to take my funnel, look at it. This is a primary funnel for this engine. Make sure it's clean. Set it in the notch. Let me grab my primary fluid. Now, on the primary, it takes just over a quart. So I'm going to start with my full quart.
You can get it open.
Yeah, these seals don't like to open.
Those seals are a pain in the rear.
Take my full quart. And what you're trying to do is basically fill it up to the bottom of this. That you make sure your funnel's in there. You don't have to use a funnel, but it does make it easier. And then I just dump the first quart in. That's good enough. I'll drain all of my partials into one bottle after I'm done with all of them. But grab me another clean paper towel. Pull the funnel out. Okay, we're still just a fuzz low. So I'm going to take this other bottle I've got that's already open. If I didn't have one that was already open, I'd grab a brand new one. And I'm going to dump in probably about 4 ounces worth. Lift my funnel out and check it. Okay, see how I'm just right at the bottom lip there? And take my paper towel here, wipe my funnel down. Because clean it up as you go, it's a lot easier to do. And then I'm going to take this primary cover, make sure it's right side up, because I'm picky. Dip my finger kind of in here a little bit. Put just a little bit of oil on this gasket. Just got it straight out of the primary. Put my top screw. Get it somewhat in place. Start the top screw. Just gonna snug it up. Not tight it, not torque it, not make it overly tight, just till it makes contact. Then I'm going to go to one of my bottom ones. Do the same thing. I always do it in a star pattern just because that's how I do it. Just till they make contact. Now once they make contact and I have all of them in, then I'm going to torque them in. I'm sure these have a proper torque setting. I don't know it. I don't use it. They're getting about yay tight. And always go back and redo your first two. Because what that does that way, because this this was the one I started torquing with. So I sucked all of these. That leaves that one a fuzz loose. So now primary's done. So we can move back over to the other side. Okay. My exhaust is actually cool enough for me to touch now. So I can come in here, go ahead and lift the plug out of my transmission, the fill plug, and just wipe it down, set it right here by the engine oil. And the reason I do that is because that way I don't forget to put fluid in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a quarter of motor oil that I opened up earlier. Since I know all my plugs are in, take this quart of motor oil. And I'm just going to dump it in. Give it a minute for it to kind of drain. Again, I will take all of these bottles later and take one that I've already got that's a partial and make them all dump and let them all drain into one.
Since we have all the same bottles.
To waste as little oil as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to do the second one. Because I know it's going to take at least 2.5 quarts to make this full. Do what?
A lot of oil.
Not really.
No.
No, when you consider my truck takes 7.
Huh.
I had a truck one time that took 12.
Wow.
And I've done oil changes on trucks that take 40.
Oh, jeez.
Now, we're talking 12-liter Caterpillar engines, but... Okay, we're going to dump about half of this quart in. But we're also going to watch and make sure that we're not overflowing anything. I've put about half this quart in, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and recap it. And I'm not going to put my plug all the way in, but just so I know I've got oil in there, I'm going to set my plug on top. Actually, I am going to go ahead and put it all the way in. Okay. Now, this funnel I use for my transmission, I want to look at it, make sure it's clean, make sure there's nothing in it. Even though it just got used last night, you never know if any bugs, spiders,
Yeah.
stuff like that can crawl into it. Take a Allen socket, kind of push it down in there.
Push back up.
It's as clean as it can possibly be. It's going to aim into that hole right there. Now I've got a quart of V-twin transmission fluid. That says easy open seal. But the seal is itself was glued down, so
Yeah.
we'll get it open. You're going to like the color of this. You know how you said that was pinkish purple coming out? Watch the color it is going in.
Ooh, that's pretty.
About the same color.
Yeah.
Hey, Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Now we want to make sure the funnel is in. With this funnel, I can just literally turn the bottle up in it, let it sit there and run, because this takes right at a quart. Now, any oil I spill, I try to go ahead and wipe up. Okay, that quart's in. So we're gonna let that.
Nice, pretty Pepto-Bismol pink.
That over there. Take my funnel, turn it upside down, wipe it out as best I can. Wipe the inside off. And then I'm going to set it upside down. Take my dipstick. Just going to drop it in. Make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. Pull it back out. If I can get a hold of it. Okay, we're at the full line. That's perfect. I'm not even going to bother wiping it back off. Okay, I'm gonna get 2 fingers in here, and hey, that thing's still hot.
Not gonna be perfectly cool.
No, but to leave your hand setting on it.
Yeah.
This is where a ball Allen comes in handy, but seeing as I don't have one, tighten it as best I can with that one. Apparently I pulled my 3/8 off last night, and I don't see it. Oh, here it is.
Oh.
There's that one. Take this. It fits better than nothing. Let me see. I need. Oh, where did that end up? Can you hand me that ball extension that's over there?
I'll hand you both.
That's fine. Take ball extension. Get it the best angle I possibly can. As long as it's not slipping, give that a little snug. That'll work. Okay, now we're gonna reach up here, turn the bike on. Just let it run for just a minute. That way, you kind of hear that little bit of a pop-in kick right there. See how it just smoothed out?
Yeah.
That was because I didn't pre-fill my oil. But that little bit of tick is not me. Okay, smoke, apparently spilled oil. But that tells me I got oil all the way through the system. So we're going to turn it back off. Give me a paper towel, please, or the roll. Paper towel. Wipe my plug. Put it in. Take it out. We're a little low, but I knew we would be.
Yeah.
Because this holds 3 quarts, but I can't fit all 3 quarts at one time.
Yeah.
Not with the way I do it. So now I'm going to take this quart. From seeing how low we were, I'm just going to tip this quart up. Let it have what's left of it. Check it. We're full. Okay. So that means engine oil is full, transmission is full, primary is full. Always check all of your plugs.
Yep.
Make sure. I think I missed cleaning some oil up because there was a little oil around my primary. Check around your filter, make sure there's no leaks. I'm hoping I just missed some oil when I cleaned around my primary. We'll just hit it again real quick with a paper towel. Wipe the cover off, get fingerprints off of it. Okay, now with fingers. Okay, there's no oil. I must just missed cleaning some up. Stick my fingers up in here. Not any around the transmission. I checked the oil plug from the other side. We are done. This bike's ready to go down the road again. Complete oil change.
Taking off taillight. Somewhat exciting.
He also decided to change out his taillight. When he put the bags on his, the turn signals would not work, and so we found a really cheap taillight on Amazon that also included turn signals. It was also blacked out, which gave a really neat look, but it made it almost impossible to see out in the sun, and so none of us felt it was safe. Also, after our trip in May last year, it got rain in it, and it slowly since then has decided to not work. So we decided to change it to this one, and I am so far a lot happier with this one.
Off, buddy. Thank you.
Okay.
That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.